Alright, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to round the corners or put an angle on the corners of some different lines or shapes that you have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the rectangle tool and I'm simply going to draw a rectangle just so I can use it as an example. Now how we round corners in AutoCAD is we use this tool called the Fillet. If you click on this, that'll drop down. You also see the chamfer, which allows you to have angled corners. So we're going to work with the fillet first because this is how we round corners. Now, when you click on this tool, it's going to have some defaults, but in order to set the radius, which is the curve, right click and go down to radius. Then it will ask you for a number. So I'm just going to put in 1 and we'll see what that does. So you type in 1 or whatever radius you want, 0.5, 0.25, whatever amount of curve you're doing. And I'll show you a couple different sizes so you can see the difference. So I just had 1 set. Now it's telling you to select your first object. So you're going to select the first line. Then if you hover over the corner here, you'll see this second line here, you'll see that the corner actually rounds. So then if you select that, it now has rounded the corner. Now, in order to round all 4 corners on this rectangle, you might think you have to go up here to the fillet and you have to do it over and over and over again, but that's not true. If you click the fillet tool, then you right click and you come down to multiply, it's going to allow you to select this corner. Okay, it's going to allow you to select the top there, select this side, and it's going to allow you to just keep selecting. So let me show you that again. If I have a rectangle or a square, if I select the fillet and I know I'm going to do multiple corners, if I right click, go down to multiply, and then you just start selecting, it allows you to select multiple corners and do it all at once. If you don't do the multiply, then what will happen is you'll do 1 corner and then it's done. So it's a lot faster if you have to do multiple corners to make sure you right click and go to multiply, unless you just need to do 1. There's also the chamfer, which is this angle. If you right click on this and you go down to distance, you can type in how far of a distance you want from your top line to your second line. So see how it cuts this corner? Instead of rounding it, it cuts the corner. Now there's one other thing I want to show you with this. Draw another rectangle. Let's say I want to have rounded corners, but I don't want the actual corner to be trimmed off. What you can do is you right click, go down to trim, and you can turn trim on or off. So I put no trim. So now when I select here, see how it goes around the corner? However, you notice it doesn't trim the line. It kind of adds the rounded corner without cutting the other part off. So if I do this to all the edges, you can easily see the difference. So this has trim turned off. This has the trim turned on. It literally just trims the edges. Okay. I'm also going to show you, rectangle tool, what it looks like when I change the radius by right clicking to, let's say, 0.25. Enter. Okay, yeah, 0.25. Now if I select here and here, you'll see how small it is. It's so tiny that that trim actually gets in the way. So I'm going to click the fillet tool again, right click, go down to trim, turn the trim on. Now I'm going to select the corner. So you can see 0.25 is actually very small around it. This is 1 point. And then you can even get into extremes. So right click, radius, and let's say 4. And you can see how extreme that is. And sometimes you might want something like that. But you can see it can get a little overboard. There's just this tiny little flat part. So whatever type of drawing you're doing, whatever radius you want, this is how you actually change the fillet or the chamfer. So either cutting the corners off or rounding the corners with or without a trim.